for heart disease may still be able to eat eggs, but really should discuss with their doctor or dietitian how many eggs they can eat. Australians consume.
Chief guest Mr. Mike Robson, special guest engineer M. Shamsuzzaman CIP, Dr. Abdul Mannan, National Nutrition. At the moment, we're having on stage Mr. Morshed, President BAAS, Mr. Mike Robson, Shamsuzzaman CIP, Dr. Abdul Mannan, National Nutrition Advisor. Thank you so much for receiving it. Dr. Maksud. Thank you for presenting it. Talha, please come on stage and let us around.
Assalamu alaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
And myself. I would like to thank BAAS for organizing a seminar on such a timely and contemporary issue. Still, substantial portion of world population are suffering from lack of nutrition. In developing countries like Bangladesh, the problem is more serious. Egg could be an excellent source of nutrition for those people. Egg is called a complete food as it contains almost all of the constituents of food required for human health. Egg contains vitamins and all essential amino acids for human health. It provides appreciable amount of animal protein for human consumption. It is affordable to all classes of people. It is popular due to its easy availability and easy processing method. Even one can take it only by boiling. It is acceptable to all irrespective of race and religion. There was a misconception that egg is harmful for human as it contains lots of cholesterol. But in recent studies shows that egg does not have any harmful effect for human health. Moreover, it is very much beneficial for human health. Canadian and Irish Heart Foundation recommended eggs for cardiac patients. It is proven one more time that it is fantastic source of protein for maternal health and child's for growing age. So I clearly and loudly want to say, together with BAAS, eggs for life. I once again welcome you all in today's program and thank you for patience hearing. Finally, I would like to thank the organization from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. Thank you very, very much.
Bangladesh Animal Agriculture Society BAAS by Dr.
Honorable Chief Guest participants, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Ghulam Mohidin Kajul, going to stop it very shortly. With the permission of the chairman of the program, I would like to go through my presentation. Area where we will work. Bangladesh Animal Agriculture Society will work with total agriculture, but that parts of agriculture which is directly related to the animal production. Peoples from any works of having knowledge and interest in the field of different branches of agriculture can be. Now, I would like to request you to see some objectives of Bangladesh Animal Agriculture Society to promote, protect, and safeguard the common interest of its members at home and abroad. To collaboration between the animal production sectors and to bring together scientists, educators, researchers, and industry people with the objective of reviewing development concerns from home and abroad. To enlighten and help the researchers, educationists, extension people, and entrepreneurs of animal agriculture industries of Bangladesh. To encourage all concerns of animal agriculture to concentrate on production system with special attention to the planet, environment, and preserving balanced ecosystem. Regarding this, we can say that we will work with the agriculture without disturbing the ecosystem of the nature. To study, research, and explore the potentiality of the agriculture, especially the crop for animals to feed the need for a viable and sustainable feed production. To accumulate information, know-how, and technologies on animal agriculture of Bangladesh and abroad, and disseminate them among the members of all other concerned. To communicate with other societies, associations, trade bodies, and other mercantile and public bodies. In this connection, I would like to say that we will make a bridge to the other organization of the home and abroad. History and events, important historical events. Bangladesh Animal Agriculture Society, it started its journey on 17th August 2013 with a convention at Rawa Club Auditorium. In the last year, in 2013, we celebrated World Egg Day by a rally, egg distribution, and also poster and leaflet distribution. In this year, 2014, on 20th September, we arranged a seminar on marriage disease by in Australia. In 2013, we have first made this poster. Our president of the BAAS is distributing a free boiled egg to the rickshaw puller. And this is the scenario of the rally in 2013. in this year, we have also arranged such type of rally in front of the Manikme Avenue, just in front of the Sanshad Bhavan. Our FAO representative and also working in FAO. He was the ex-vice chancellor of Tehran University. Our future programs, whatever we would like to do something better in the future. Regional summit of AIM for 3 days. By this congress, we would like we will organize some seminars, symposia, and other raw material which is used for poultry, cattle, and fish feed production, working in the different area of animal agriculture. We will consider agriculture, food security, food safety, and nutrition to be major priorities. Agriculture and fight against food and nutrition insecurity, a key strategy maybe. So in this connection, I would also note you that we are not only confined to the celebration of one April. BAAS, finally, I would say that it is a non-profitable, non-political, and tell it from the very beginning of the statement that we will do that parts of agriculture which is closely related to the animal production. So, BAAS will work with all concerned of animal agriculture to build
on eggs for better nutrition. Dr. Abdul Mannan.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. My presentation is on eggs for better nutrition. This is a joint presentation prepared by me as well as my good colleague, Dr. Lolita Bhattacharya.
May I please request Mr. Qazi Zahiuddin Hassan, MD, Qazi Farms.
And there are considerable changes, particularly in underweight and stunting since 1996. It was 66 and 60%, that is underweight and stunting in 1996, and it reduced to 36 and 41% respectively. Yet, there is high prevalence of undernutrition among under 5 children. And unfortunately, if we go and if we consider division-wise undernutrition prevalence, Sylhet division is the worst. 49% stunting. Undernutrition prevails among 1 in every 4 children in recessed households, and also 58% in the poorest households. Actually, this is really a matter of concern that we cannot be complacent among the richer people that they have less malnutrition. A fourth of women in reproductive age exhibits chronic energy deficiency, particularly BMI less than 18.5. There are other problems, anemia, that remains as a serious problem, 50%, which is intergenerational. Zinc and iodine deficiency also remains quite high. Diets remain poorly diversified because cereal contribute to 70% of dietary energy intake. Diet of children 6 to 23 months are pretty less diverse and remain nutritionally inadequate. A fourth have minimum acceptable diets, 4 food groups out of 7 food groups. So this is the scenario. Let us have a look about our today's discussion, that is egg. Eggs are important from nutritional point of view, having protein of high biological value. Egg production in Bangladesh needs to be increased. Annual per capita egg consumption was only 36 per year in 2010-11, and there is a target fixed in National Nutrition Policy. It should be 120 per year in 2021. If you compare egg consumption between urban and rural population, you will find the urban population consume more eggs than the rural. Updated macro and micronutrient composition of eggs are reported in food composition tables of Bangladesh, and I will present all these things just after a few minutes. There are also advantages and health benefits of eggs through healthy cooking. Egg-based recipes developed and their nutrient values were analyzed. Recently, we conducted a study that was conducted throughout Bangladesh in 7 divisions, and we tried to find out the complementary feeding issues, particularly some complementary foods that is being consumed by the rural people as well as urban people. And we find out 35 recipes. Earlier we thought only few recipes like khichuri, suji, halwa, this sort of things. But now 35 recipes that we suggested through our research that is being that could be consumed by our children 6 to 23 months. That is quite healthy, nutritious, and useful. Egg is really good for better nutrition for all people, except those who are cholesterol responders. So, with this introduction, I want to say a few words about nutrition trends, particularly stunting, wasting, underweight, and micronutrient deficiency disorders. You see, underweight, the MDG target is 31%, and WHO threshold is 30%. But we are, up till 2011, it is only 36% among the other 5 children. So we need to reduce it further. Now, recently, we find some reduction, but we need to be less than WHO threshold. Stunted children, WHO threshold is 40%, and by now we are in 41%. So we need to reduce further. And wasted, WHO threshold is 15%. Now we are 16%. So we need to further reduce. So this is the scenario in underweight. As I told you, the underweight scenario in different divisions, actually underweight in Sylhet is almost highest, 44.9%. Same situation in stunting in Sylhet, that is the highest, 49.9%. And also wasting, it is also highest in Sylhet. So division-wise, there is a problem in Sylhet, and we need to take care of that. Undernutrition by wealth quintile, as I told you earlier, if we consider our people by 5th quintile, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th, 1st quintile is the poorest of the poor, and 5th quintile is the richest one. In 1st quintile, you will find 54% undernourished, stunting, and wasting is 18%, while in the richest quintile you will find 26%. They are stunted, and wasted is 12%. Undernutrition situation among adult women in Bangladesh. There are regional variations. In the national, it is around inadequate height, if it is 145 centimeter and above, then it is quite okay, but if it is less than 145 centimeter, then it is unacceptable. So that is inadequate height. Nationally, 12% have inadequate height, and chronic energy deficiency is 20%. But if you go and if you look into the Sylhet division, it is 16% and 35% respectively. Undernutrition in adult women by food consumption, it is also not so good. In the right-hand side scenario you are looking into, and undernutrition in adult women by food consumption and diet diversity, it is not also acceptable. Now, ladies and gentlemen, anemia. Iron deficiency anemia is a serious issue in Bangladesh, and we have serious consequences on it. It reduced immunity, it increased risk of maternal and perinatal mortality, intrauterine growth retardation, premature births, reduced cognitive and psychomotor development, reduced ability to concentrate even in reading, in studying. So this is a serious issue, and anemia is generally considered as proxy for iron deficiency, and it is measured by hemoglobin levels in the blood, which is the common method with cutoff established for different subgroups and environmental factors. You see, WHO cutoff is 40%. Among children 6 to 59 months, it is a bit reduced recently in 2013, and pregnant women, they are above the cutoff marks, and non-pregnant, non-lactating women, they have reduced recently by 26%. But the issue is still with children 6 to 59 months and pregnant women. Let us consider about the prevalence of iron deficiency in the country. You see, in Bangladesh, iron deficiency remains a serious problem. Though a number of initiatives are taken, salt hydration was made mandatory. The main issue is with its quality control. If we could maintain it, then it would be quite good, and we can reach to our target. Prevalence of iron deficiency among school children, it is around 40% nationally, and non-pregnant, non-lactating women, it is 42%. And coverage is also in 2012, it is in urban, it is 74.4%, rural 51.8%, whereas in national 57.6%. Ladies and gentlemen, let us discuss about eggs. The scenario is quite bad in Bangladesh, although some progress is there. We have reduced our poverty level, but stunting level is not reducing at that pace. We need to look into those. Now, eggs are one of the best sources of protein. Eggs has a biological value of 94%, meaning 94% digested food, nitrogen actually retained in it. Given its high biological value of any protein, it serves as an anabolic factor and maximizes muscle growth. One regular sized egg contains about 6 grams of high quality protein and 9 essential amino acids. So it is quite nutrient rich. Contrary to popular belief, recent research, particularly Harvard School of Public Health, they have published it in British Medical Journal. They found no significant link between egg consumption and heart disease. So it is good news, but at the same time, we have some other news also. Studies also show that egg consumption can actually lower the risk of blood clots, stroke, and heart attacks. New research has shown that eating eggs in moderation has no impact on cholesterol levels and may in fact improve lipid profiles. One egg contains around 6 grams of fat, but only 1.5 grams of saturated fat, which shows more likely to consume the beta fat. So research has confirmed that it is saturated fat that rises cholesterol and not the dietary cholesterol that eggs have. If cooking eggs, use of maximum of 2 yolks and the rest in the form of whites, this will ensure to keep cholesterol in check, and yet you can get some extra health benefits from the yolk, as it has most of the fat-soluble vitamins and essential fatty acids. So you can have alternative choice if you think you can do that. Eggs are one of the only foods with naturally occurring vitamin D. No other food that can provide you vitamin D. It is egg that can only provide. Also, egg can lower the risk of breast cancer in women and confer benefits for health of eyes. Let us have a look into production of eggs in Bangladesh. It is in the monitoring report 2014 Ministry of Food. In 2007 and 8, it was 5,653 million production, which raised to 7,617 million in 2012 and 13. So the trend is gradually increasing. We need to keep this trend so that the supply of eggs could be available to our population. Now, egg production in Bangladesh, it was once observed and predicted. It was published in Financial Express on 27th February 2013. And the production trend of eggs, according to the prediction of egg production, is quite good, but we need something more. Now let us have a look into per capita food intake in Bangladesh. All of you know, and it should be reduced, and other foods, particularly vegetables, fruits, beef, mutton, and non-rice foods or non-cereal foods need to be increased. You see, the situation in 2000 and 2010, always the rice consumption is gradually reducing, and other food consumption, particularly potato and vegetables, fruits, and animal foods, as well as fish, oil, milk, these are showing an increasing trend. So it is quite good, but we need to increase further, and we want to reduce dependency on cereals. We want to reduce it. Consumption of eggs in Bangladesh, gram per capita per day. National consumption in 2005, it was 5.15 gram, and which increased to 7.25 gram nationally. In rural areas, the consumption, you see, 4.4 in 2005, while it increases to 5.8. And in urban areas, the increment is quite good. 7.41 in 2005, it increased to 2010, 11.3 gram per capita per day in 2010. Now, macronutrient in different types of eggs, the composition of eggs. Energy content in chicken egg, sometimes people ask which egg should we take, whether duck egg or chicken egg, whether farm chicken egg or deshi egg. So these sort of questions are around us. You see, only for that reason I have shown this chart. Particularly energy in deshi chicken is 139 kilocalorie, while in chicken farm it is 158 kilocalorie, and chicken yolk, যেটাকে কুসুম বলে, the inside, that contains 325 kilocalories. So very energy dense, that egg yolk, while duck, it provides 188 kilocalorie. In terms of protein, you will find almost same. That is, in deshi egg, you will find 14.4. In farm egg, it is 13.3. In egg yolk, 16. While in duck egg, you will find 13.3. Fat, egg yolk is rich in fat, so it is 27.8 gram. So we need to be a bit cautious, although it is very useful. Now, mineral contents in different types of eggs. You see, calcium you will find more in chicken yolk, and it will be less in deshi egg, and farm egg is a bit more, while duck egg is also a bit more. Iron very less, and magnesium, it is high in deshi egg than duck and farm egg. While phosphorus in egg yolk is quite high, very high, and also potassium, sodium, you will find in this table. These are really good amount in eggs. Now vitamins in eggs, particularly chicken deshi, vitamin A, it is 165 microgram per 100 gram edible portion, and it is quite high in yolk. And vitamin D, it is in chicken deshi 1.9, 2.4 microgram in farm chicken, and 5.4 in chicken yolk. Duck is only 1.8. Vitamin E is there, vitamin B2 is also there, B6, and folate, it is also available. So egg is quite rich in vitamins also. Now the advantages of egg consumption. Egg have a rich nutritional profile and moderate calorie content, so it is quite good. It provides a range of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, as we have seen recently. Each large egg contains 6.3 gram protein that provides all required amino acids to survive. Large egg contains 147 milligram choline, that is a vitamin very much important for the brain function. Large egg also contains 185 milligram of cholesterol. Hard-boiled eggs provide good fats. It has unsaturated fatty acids and also polyunsaturated fatty acids to stabilize cholesterol level and keep heart healthy. Hard-boiled eggs also pack important vitamins to help protect eyes and keep bones strong. Now let us have a look into health benefits of eggs. There are 10 health benefits that has yet been identified. Eggs are nutritious, rich in vitamins, minerals. Eggs are high in cholesterol but don't adversely affect blood cholesterol. Eggs raise high density lipoprotein, that is good cholesterol, lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and various health problems. Egg contains choline, that I already told you, which builds cell membranes and has a role in the brain development as well as brain function. Egg turns low density lipoprotein cholesterol, that is the bad cholesterol, as we know, from small, dense to large, and linked to a reduced risk of heart disease. Eggs contain lutein and zeaxanthin. These are antioxidants that have major benefits for eye health. In case of omega-3 or pastured eggs, they lower triglycerides as well. Eggs are high in quality protein with all essential amino acids in the right ratios. Eggs do not raise risk of heart disease and may reduce the risk of stroke. Eggs are highly fulfilling and tend to make one eat fewer calories, helping to lose body weight. So these are the benefits. Now, if you want to get all these benefits, you need to make healthy cooking of eggs. Otherwise, these benefits may not be available to you. So eggs should be cooked thoroughly, since raw and uncooked eggs can provide a breeding ground of harmful bacteria and foodborne illnesses. Limit use of oil when cooking eggs and pair eggs with healthy flavorings like chopped red peppers, mushrooms, onions, and other vegetables. Limit cholesterol by cooking egg whites. Cooking a mixture of whole eggs and leg whites would help to get flavor of egg yolk and limit cholesterol intake as an alternative. If you have a history of high cholesterol, consult a dietitian or physician about including eggs in your diet. Now I want to show you 3 recipes that has been developed recently through a research study by FPMU, egg khichdi, egg suji, and bread toast. Everywhere egg is being used. Let us have a look into egg khichdi. The ingredients are rice, lentil, potato, egg, pumpkin, spinach, oil, and among the spices, ginger, garlic, turmeric powder, onion, and water. And what we find here, if we calculate just 100 gram of cooked dish, we have energy 118 kilocalories. And we have protein, it is 3.8 gram, as well as fat 4.63 out of this dish. And so it is quite nutritious for the kids in their complementary food. Let us have a look into egg suji. It is also the ingredients used here: semolina, egg, ash gourd, carrot, molasses, oil, and water. And ultimately in 100 gram, you will find 156 kilocalories. It is for the kids only. Actually, you will find from here protein 5.97 gram per 100 gram and also 5.54 gram fat. So it is quite useful for the kids. If we think bread toast, only white bread, egg, ash gourd, carrot, oil, and water. And out of 130 gram, you will find the nutrients. And if you calculate in 100 gram, you will find 271 kilocalorie from it. And also protein is 9.54 and 9.77 gram fat out of it. So egg can be used in different ways, like potato. If you want, you can use it everywhere. Now, let us have a look whether egg is good or bad. You need to have a test, that is egg float test. If egg has gone bad, simply submerge it in water to test if the egg has expired. A good egg will sink to the bottom and stay there on its side due to density of protein. An egg that stands with its larger side up is older, but the egg is still good. If the egg floats or hovers, then bacteria has broken down proteins in the egg whites and created gases, an indication that the egg is probably unsafe to eat. We believe it is better safe than sorry, and any egg that fails this test should be thrown out. Safe storage times of eggs. You see, eggs with broken shell use immediately and do not store. So it is the advice. And fresh eggs, particularly fertile or infertile, stored in warm conditions above 20 degrees centigrade, it could last 1 to 2 days.
Nan's slides also the change in over time.
5 weeks, and under refrigeration condition, it can stay 4 weeks. If the 5 weeks, and under refrigeration condition, it can stay 4 weeks if the temperature is maintained less than 4 degrees centigrade. It is taken from the Australian Centre for International Agriculture Research. Now, shelf life of eggs, as we have seen, particularly whenever you keep eggs in refrigerator, fresh eggs are good for 3 to 4 weeks, egg whites are good for 2 to 4 days, egg yolks are good for 1 to 2 days. So we should be cautious about using these things, and we should know the shelf life of the eggs. The shelf life of eggs is greatly reduced if the eggs are not kept constantly refrigerated, and they may become unsafe to eat. Eggs should always be stored in the fridge right before and after use, and thus it depends on how the eggs have been stored. So we should be carefully storing the eggs. Now, ranges of nutrient intake goals. It is something that is the total fat, it should be 15 to 30%, saturated fat less than 10%, polyunsaturated fatty acid 6 to 10%, trans fatty acid less than 1%, total carbohydrate 55 to 75%, free sugars 10%, protein 10 to 15%, cholesterol less than 300 milligram per day, sodium chloride less than 5 gram per day. Fruits and vegetables at least 400 gram per day. Total dietary fiber from foods 40 gram per day. Non-starchy polysaccharides from foods, whole grain, it is 20 gram per day. Easy way to count your calories. If you want to count your calories from eggs, if it is 60 gram, then medium size egg, it will provide you 100 kilocalories. And cereals 30 grams, bread 40 grams. So all these food items, it is here. If you like to, if you are interested, then you can have a look into my presentation. I will keep it here. And next, we need to develop and use food-based dietary guidelines from the recommended nutrient intakes. It is very important. We need to have this recommended nutrient intake. We have already done it. And we considered nutrient composition of food and water, malnutrition, particularly deficiency and excesses, and we also considered situation of food supply, bioavailability of nutrients from food and water, and then the product, that is food-based dietary guidelines, which can be used in production of nutrient-rich foods, and household food and nutrient security, health and nutrition production, and nutrition education. So this is a very useful tool. Now, in conclusion, eggs are nutritious and help in improving nutrition of the vulnerable groups, including women and children of all ages. Production and supply of eggs need to be increased. Physicians and dietitians have a particular role in promoting eggs with caution. Eggs for better nutrition is not only a slogan, but also a reality for the improvement of health. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
Now, we will be presenting some boiled egg among our guests.
Just a minute, sir. Sir, একটু ধরবেন স্যার প্লিজ। স্যার একটু ধরবেন।
naturally occurring vitamin D. I was a bit surprised by this, but because I thought liver, brain, etc. also have naturally occurring vitamin D. So if you clarify this for me, please. Thank you.
And wasting is weight for height. Weight for height. If the children are wasted. And next thing, you have mentioned other food items like eggs. Actually, other food items has very less amount, but egg has very good amount of vitamin D. And only for that, I mentioned eggs. Because I am discussing on eggs today, I gave preference.
And other things, but I think in terms of different eggs, it will be deshi eggs, farm eggs, and duck eggs. But among them, you have mentioned chicken yolk. Is it the single yolk you have considered it, or yolk is another type of eggs? I'm little bit confused.
No, that is not another type of.
Deshi, farm, and duck.
Okay.
We contain energy level will be high in duck. It's a little bit confused, so you please make it clear.
Okay, actually, the yolk is considered for the chicken egg. Chicken egg. Yolk from chicken egg, it is considered there. That is analyzed there. Duck, a bit separate. Duck yolk has not been analyzed. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I used to say that, especially the. And what about this? Is it right that the commercial farmed eggs, the source of intellectual residue?
Okay, thank you. It depends. I have mentioned in those eggs, these are produced particularly in the locality, you will find some changes in the nutrient content. So, nutrient content in eggs depends.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning everybody. Available, we are supplying still now, its update is 61 per year, 61 number per year. But here maybe is 2010, 2000, so it's 36. So I think this is my one concern. Another thing is around in future in Bangladesh. So we are still now, we know that we are not producing artificial eggs in Bangladesh. So my question is, what do you think is artificial eggs and natural eggs? Is there any human hazardous in artificial eggs? Thank you very much for.
Okay, available from your DLS. We received it from your office and that is being included in that document. If you target by your ministry, please communicate with us so that we can correct it. Yes. There is your office, we have just presented here. Thank you. And about to China egg and other eggs, we have not yet considered all those things. Thank you.
Thank you. So to have a tea break at the moment, and later we will be going on to the proceedings of the program. Thank you. So much to our Dr. Abdul Manan for the question and recital. Thank you.
Intelligence for eggs and egg products, encourage improvements to the welfare of laying hens, encourage actions to help safeguard of the environment, on corporate social responsibilities. I see as a responsibility for the cattle meat, etc. There is a statistics since 1970 to 2010 is a global egg production. There are many regional statistics here is presenting. The uptrend line, it is showing the Asian egg production. This is the highest production in the world at the moment. Top 10 producing countries. These statistics come from 2009. China is the highest production of egg producing countries. They are producing 27.9 million metric tons. And then US is the second position, 5.3 million. You can see the difference between Asian region and North American regions, 5 times higher than the American production. And then the third positions also occupied by the Asian country, India, then Japan, Mexico, Russia, Brazil, Indonesia, Ukraine, and France. Egg consumptions around the world, who are consuming maximum eggs per year per person. This is the statistics. Mexico is a North American, Central American country. On an average, a Mexican people is consuming 347 eggs per year. And then Japan, 329, China, USA, and the Bangladesh, where we are now only 24 eggs we are consuming per year, which is, it is the commercial, and another wild one is 11, altogether is 35. Our requirement is 104. 104 eggs should be consumed per year by per person Bangladeshi. Weekly egg consumptions in 175 countries. You see, more than 4 eggs in 34 countries, and less than 1 egg is consuming by 66 countries. Now the egg composition, as already Dr. Abdul Mannan has mentioned, and he has highlighted most of the things which I am going to be discussed. Egg with shell composition by weight and excluding shell, without shell. 60% of egg white, 11% in water, proteins in water, 30% egg yolk, and 10% egg shell. And excluding shell is 75% water, 12.5% proteins, and 10 to 11% lipids. Sources of proteins, vitamins, and minerals. It has a very good sources of proteins, vitamins, and minerals, as already discussed earlier. Of course, it has the nutritional claims with protein sources, fats, and minerals. You see the USA, their sources, where the good sources come from, and the different countries where they are getting the sources. It has already given a good statistics here. We need to do a better job to convey the nutritional value of eggs to consumers. The key nutrients, we know it has containing proteins, lipids, fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins, minerals, and xanthophylls. Proteins, it has an importance of building block of the human body with a constant turnover of proteins, synthesis and degradation in muscles 20%, intestines 15%, skin 15%, and liver 10%. A 70 kilogram person may need 70 to 105 gram of proteins from daily nutritional intake. Is a protein a standard level of different regional statistics. 32 countries consuming less than 56 gram proteins daily. You see, Africa is the highest maximum consuming proteins containing country, and then 5% from Asia, 2% from Caribbean, and 1% from Latin America. Amino acids, as it is a very good sources of essential amino acids like histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, valine, etc. Quality or biological value. The protein must be highly digestible and usable by the human body. Comparison of quality scores for common food protein sources. Protein efficiency ratio also is a good, remarkable for the egg. You see egg, milk, beef and soybean. Protein efficiency ratio is 3.8 for the egg, while milk, beef and soya is 3.1, 2.9 and 2.1. One egg provides between 6 to 7 grams of high quality protein. Animal and plant protein, biological value and protein efficiency. Quality or biological value. Compared to other animal proteins and plant proteins, the egg has the best quality protein. Lipid composition is 4.75 gram of fat per 50 gram egg serving. Main lipid components in yolk are highly digestible. Almost all lipids are present as lipoprotein complexes with the overall lipid protein ratio 2:1. The different fats in the eggs: saturated fatty acids, monounsaturated fatty acids, polyunsaturated fatty acids, and saturated fat. So within 50 gram egg, there are less than 1 gram of polyunsaturated fatty acid, which is very good for our human body. Cholesterol is a vital issue. Cholesterol is located within the all membranes of the cells of the body and is therefore an important nutrient. Most ingested cholesterol is esterified and this form is poorly absorbed. When more cholesterol is consumed in the diet, the body typically reacts by reducing the cholesterol synthesis. Cholesterol sources, mainly enriched cholesterol sources is come from chicken heart, gizzard, beef liver, milk, egg, pork, fresh leg, ham, eggplant. But we can see egg cholesterol sources is very much tolerable for our human body. Vitamin D, as I have seen already by Dr. Mannan's slide, there are almost all the vitamins are containing in egg except vitamin C. And the minerals, selenium. Selenium is existing and it has given a very good hormonal activities for the human body. Enhancement of current nutrients. There are vitamins A, D3, K, B1, B2 and B6 including E, biotin, niacin, choline, lutein, iron, selenium. Total polyunsaturated fatty acids and long-chain polyunsaturated omega-3 like docosahexaenoic acid. The most natural way the eggs are come, you see the special diet ingredient, vitamin, mineral and other functional ingredients are consuming by hand, and after 10 to 21 days to stabilize the level of nutrient, and egg is coming with enriched nutrients. Relative transfer efficiency from the diet fed the hand to the egg. Classification of vitamins by cholesterol and eggs. There is a very controversial debate regarding this issue. It's a very famous international magazine, Time magazine. It has already illustrated a report in 1984. They said they have posed a very big topic, cholesterol now, and now the bad news. In 1984, they have published this message in the Time magazine. And after 15 years, in 1999, the scientists and researchers, they have already done a lot of their research work, and they go through very deeply so far. And now they are saying cholesterol, and now the good news. So we can very much enthusiastic about the cholesterol issue on eggs. Cholesterol is not bad for our eggs. The cholesterol issue, since 1970, sorry. Since 1970, eggs have had a negative image on cholesterol content on eggs, but now the situation has already overcome. There are some scientific reports regarding the cholesterol impact on eggs. New body of evidence, as earlier paper we know that there is HDL and LDL cholesterol. So the good cholesterol is continuing on eggs. So we shouldn't be much worried about this cholesterol level and cholesterol effect on our body for egg consumption. And in conclusion, consumption of one egg per day does not lead to increase cardiovascular heart disease risk in healthy individuals. Dietary guidelines focusing now on reducing saturated fat and trans fats. There are some statistics on effect of dietary modifications on LDL cholesterol reduction. Irish Heart Foundation, they recently made a very good slogan, an egg a day is okay. Health benefits of egg consumption. Contribution of eggs to several health conditions. Lutein, proteins, choline. Choline is a very important items or very important ingredients of eggs, which can develop the fetal development and reduction of cardiovascular disease risk. And in conclusion, eggs are a great source of high quality proteins and several vitamins and minerals, contributing greatly to a healthy diet. The medical profession is now less concerned about dietary cholesterol and more about total saturated and trans fats. We must continue our efforts to convey to consumers the great nutritional value of eggs, which is the great source of nutrients at a reasonable price. Thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much for so much informative presentation.
Very much for a nice presentation, especially eggs quality concern. I have a little question. Number of raw materials used in feed industries and produces feeds in Bangladesh. Any technical test arranged by the BAAS later in future? It is our recommendation for later uses in the consumption. Thank you.
I think you are asking
থেকে আসছে সেটা হলো যে আমরা কি শুধু একটি দিনের উপরই নির্ভর করে থাকবো না বাস এটা কন্টিনিউ করবে ক্যাম্পেইনিং যেন আমার কিছু সুনির্দিষ্ট জিনিস আছে যে ডক্টর কামরুজ্জামান কায়সার যেটা বললো যে অনেক লেস কনসার্ন ফিজিশিয়ানদের কাছে তারা কিন্তু এটাতে এখনোই অ্যাডাপ্টেড হয়নি তো আমার কাছে প্রশ্ন যেটা আপনারা কি এমন কোনো কার্যক্রম হাতে নেবেন সামনে যেটা কন্টিনিউয়াস ডাক্তারদের মাঝে স্কুলের মাঝে অথবা ক্যাম্পেইনিং আমি এটা বলতে চাচ্ছি।
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anybody else, please? Okay, thank you. I think we can go ahead
Thank you
because
so
our
much
time
for the
is
open
constrained.
discussion.
Thank you.
I would be requesting the audience if you have any words to say about X for Life.
Yeah.
Anyone interested to say something
May
about X for Life?
in that case, may I request Dr. Matt to say something about our program because he was with us in the X11. So, Mr. Matt, please come
Please
on
stay
and
stage.
say
Mr.
something.
Mack. May we please welcome Mr. Mack on stage. Thank you so much.
Focus is the disease prevention of the livestock, and the poultry is a big focus of activities, and egg production, meat of the poultry meat is of course the increase is an indicator of the growth of these sectors. That's the reason why we are very much active in supporting the IEC, and we actively participated in the Egg Day rally, and today also, and we are very happy to remain supporting this initiative movement. Is there any questions?
Anyone having any question, you may please ask Mr. Mack.
I observed that the poultry growth, we have a problem, avian influenza, during the last 7 years. However, the statistic shows the annual growth of the poultry populations, chickens, more than 88% annually, consistently increasing. And egg production is also increasing. Nevertheless, the level is still 1/4. The egg production should be 4 times or 3 times more increased. And we will do anything to enhance the production, and also they try to eliminate the obstacles to prevent the growth of these sectors. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mack. May I please request our special guest engineer M. Shamsuzzaman, CIP Managing Director, Microfiber Group, to please give a speech. Engineer M. Shamsuzzaman.
Mr. Morshed Alam, President, Bangladesh Animal Agriculture Society. Basically, I see that in our industry, the worker, they are having get the good nutrition, I should say, and that way we are consuming around 10,000 pieces egg per day in our industries. And when Mr. Morshed Alam and Dr. Kamruzaman came to they came to request me to be the part of this organization and to promote the egg, these eggs, in Bangladesh, And we are very glad to accept their proposal, because we also have the corporate social responsibility department, and the idea which we had before, that normally maybe the worker, they need it, but especially those who are solvent, they may not need the yellow part of the egg. Normally whenever we go in outside, we have the breakfast in the hotel. The cook of the hotel during the breakfast asking us that how to prepare the egg. And not only from Bangladesh, all over the world I saw that most of the guests of the hotel, they are asking the cook to prepare the egg without the yellow part. So this is my idea, that most of us had the wrong idea. But last 1 month, the idea had changed. And that means I myself also, I'm also having the egg with the yellow part, So I think that wrong idea, the idea which was in 1984, that egg had the bad cholesterol part. But within 15 years, the scientists of the world, they have changed the idea that you need 1 or 2 eggs in a day. So we have observed the whole thing, and I will be happy that if we can be engaged with this social responsibility of the society from our company, we'll be always be with you, and in future whenever you need us, just let us know to participate. Thank you all. Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to be here at this seminar on eggs for life this afternoon. I think you've probably heard a lot about the nutritional benefits. Animal origin are clearly lacking in many people's diets. The figures, the statistics, we argue about the numbers, but at the end of the day, those foods are lacking in the diet. And the entry-level foods, the cheapest foods, milk, eggs, and small indigenous fish. These are the kinds of things that people really need to try and absorb more in their diets. You saw from Manan's slides also the change over time. People are eating less cereal, they're gradually eating a more diverse diet, but it's just not going quick enough. And if you've seen in his slides also, there's a difference between the rural picture and the urban picture. The diets are still not very diverse in a rural setting. Urban consumption is changing quicker than rural consumption. And whether we talk about the number of eggs consumed as being 36 or 61 as DLS say, and whether the total is 102 or 120, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there is a deficiency. There is a shortage there in terms of the consumption against the recommended levels. So for nutrition, clearly eggs have a major role to play. On the production side, I think in Bangladesh you've seen a revolution. You've seen a revolution over the last 15 to 20 years. Maize, as a major form of poultry feed, was largely absent in Bangladesh 15 to 20 years ago, and the production now is into millions of tons per year. And most of that maize is going for animal feed. Now clearly another point that was mentioned was about the quality of that feed. If the birds are taking in food that's been adulterated, it needs to be tested. And I think that although an association like this can play a part, I would be calling on instead on the colleagues from the Department of Livestock Services, because the government has a role to ensure the safety of animal feed. It's part of the job of government to check those things. It's not up to an association of good-willing volunteers and enthusiasts to regulate a sector. It's a government role. So that's one thing I would certainly stress. In terms of production, Matt has also mentioned about the problems of avian influenza and the kinds of diseases that have been affecting the poultry sector. And again, these are a constant concern. Those viruses, those diseases are constantly changing, and much is being done to try and render the poultry sector more safe, more secure, less exposed to new viruses, new diseases. You have the poultry sector goes all the way from 2 backyard chickens to a large poultry farm with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of birds. So the whole scale there, and different sectors, subsectors of the poultry industry have different needs in terms of what they call biosecurity. I think there are these questions also about the quality and safety that come from feed in those commercial sectors. In discussing with the representative of the Ghazi farms over a cup of tea, I was asking him, what are the major constraints that you face? He says the prices are too low. Manufacturers will always say that. The manufacturer will always say the price is too low. I can't get a good price for my product. But I asked him, what's the driver of the price? Well, energy, labour and feed. These are some of the things that drive the costs of poultry products, eggs, meat and so on. But he says the prices are too low. And yet people are finding the prices too high. People cannot afford. So there's something wrong there. On the marketing side, the third of these my major topics, a lot of the poultry, a lot of the egg production in Bangladesh is through smallholders. And I think, as with other smallholder dominated sectors, like milk production is another one, the key really is to try and organize the producers for collection and for distribution. Now, I remember the shock I saw when I first came to Bangladesh and I saw eggs being distributed in the city. You've all seen it. You see egg boxes up this high on the back of a rickshaw or on the back of a bike, maybe all strung together, maybe 30 boxes, one after the other. 30 times 144 eggs. You can make the calculation. There are 5,000 eggs on that bicycle. And I've seen them fall off. I've seen them go over a bump on Manik Mia Avenue, and I've seen them fall off. And so in one morning it was eggs all over the road. That doesn't seem to me a very efficient way to distribute eggs, but it's the way that people do them in Dhaka these days. So I think there's something there about organising the sector and organising the collection. From FAO's side, we have projects. We have projects in the south of Bangladesh, coming from the cyclone recovery project from 2009, Ayla, Sidr, and so on. And one of the major, very popular aspects of that project was groups coming together to distribute poultry, to collect the eggs, and to collect and market those eggs together. They consume the eggs. They put 2 eggs every week into what they call the egg bank, and then the group basically either sold the eggs or they made cakes. They made a living from eggs collectively as a group, because one person on their own cannot do a business like that. It needs to be something that people come together. So in short, I say that this seminar has really emphasized the importance of eggs for nutrition. I would say that some of these other areas, in terms of to boost up the sector, are important in terms of the marketing, in terms of the production, in terms of the collection, the organisation and so on. And I think that there is a role to play of government, and our colleague from DLS is there, and I really think that's very, very clearly in terms of the regulation of the feed sector, but also other policies that may help encourage egg production, egg distribution and egg marketing. So, and FAO as an intergovernmental organisation, that's where our partner is DLS, our partner is government. So we can help support organisations like BAAS. I don't think you have a role as a regulatory body, but I do think you have a role from a promotional